Hey, what's going on? Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Divanarchy, and interface with a couch in space as I get myself in frame. That's okay, because, so many space problems. Sometimes we go out of frames of reality into alternate dimensions, wormholes, nebulas, what have you. All these things just alter our perception, and we're moving. So now there's relativity. Uh, we are hurtling through the void at millions of miles an hour, but we somehow got to you on your terrestrial internet. So thank you for your time today. We got a great sponsor, but I thought there was going to be a new show announcement that I could put in the ad reel, and didn't do it in time. So I'm going to give you last week's ad reel and update it verbally, because that's how we got to do sometimes. It's space. You got to improvise. Fucking nothing works up here. So you'll never believe it. Once again, a Tiger Squawk Records is our sponsor on the illustrious Space Couch. Sex, Death, Religion, Distant Images, out now. He's back. 15-year chronology from Siren. Check that out. The new Virtual Terrorist is out now. That's an EP. That's out too. But you should have. That's out. Industrial's Corrupted Memories is also out. Stop the Goth from Science Fiction. Bitman has not just that one, but 3 singles out. There should be a great reel in there. Gasoline Invertebrate, full length out now, doing well. Gossip a pre-party 2020 that was supposed to be for Cold Waves. The double feature with Chicago's The Boundless is out. There's that other Bitman single. There's a new one. And just go to tigersquawkrecords.bandcamp.com, and you can fill in the blanks in your heart, because that's what we have to do sometimes, and just do a little improv up in space. Ladies and gentlemen, ecstatic for today's guest. We've sort of tacitly known each other. We'll certainly be a little bit more introduced after today's episode. We are gonna go into orbit. I mean, we're already in orbit because we're in space, but we are going to circumnavigate the globe of industrial music. Couldn't be more excited, ladies and gentlemen. No more faffing about. Let's just bring him in. Here is Dre. What's up, sir? Oh, he appears out of nowhere. You popped in from an alternate dimension, sir.
One of my many skills I acquired throughout the years of being in this thing surrounded by machines and people, machines.
Well, the Dark Lord Cthulhu may have opened a wormhole in the cosmos behind you, but
yeah, he's got my back.
Dude, I don't even know where to start. We're just gonna jump in and go for it. Let's. I was thinking that maybe we could bookend it with Noisebox. If you want to tell us a little bit about the early success of Noisebox, and just getting in, signing with Cleopatra when the whole industrial thing was still pretty doughy in the public consciousness, kind of forming, if that's even accurate. Or even even pre-Noisebox, but how did that start for you?
Well, basically, I met Josh through his girlfriend at the time. who's still a friend of ours. And she was like, "Oh, hey, I know this guy who likes drum machines and stuff." And he's like, "Hey, I know this guy that likes keyboards and samplers and drum machines and whatnot." And so we just started hanging out. Like, this is like pre-Noisebox.
Right.
Like, I just got out of high school,
Just out of high school. Okay.
Doing that whole fucking crazy, like, "Oh, hey, we're out of high school. We can
do
whatever.
Yeah.
Years, don't think about college."
Right.
Take a lot of acid and just kind of just mill about for a while.
And this is in Seattle.
Yeah, up in Seattle.
Okay.
So then, we just started hanging out and then making music and running drum machines through those huge, what was that company? These huge amps, like huge guitar amps.
Okay.
So we were already just being kind of crazy.
Right.
And then, I guess if you want to fast forward through all that craziness, getting signed was kind of like a fluke.
Okay.
It's like our friend was coming down to LA and she's like, "Oh, you guys want to give me a cassette of your music?" And we're just like, "Okay, sure, whatever."
Right.
And she had like a whole handful of cassettes from Seattle industrial bands. Like, I think she had Noxious Emotion.
Yeah.
Click. SMP for sure.
Yeah.
And Sex with Sarah. There was just like a whole bunch of these weird Northwest industrial bands. And we were just like, okay, whatever. We weren't thinking about being signed or anything, but we're like, okay, sure, go ahead. Gave her a tape, and then we actually had Reconstriction contact us first.
Yeah.
Which was really bizarre. About
Reconstriction. Awesome. That is a seminal early industrial label for you at home. So you're contacted by you're out of college just chilling and Reconstriction calls.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I remember they wanted us to sound a little more how can I put this delicately? Beastie Puppy. To which we were like, "Oh, no."
Okay.
No, because they thought like the whole rapping thing was going to be a big element. And I'm like, no, sometimes I don't want to do that.
Right.
Sometimes I just rather yell, through distortion and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But then Cleopatra contacted us and they're like, "Hey, you guys want to make a record?" And the funny thing is, we had already made this list of labels we wanted to contact, but being the kind of stoners we were, it was kind of like a half-assed thing. It's kind of like, "All right, we got this list. Who do we know here?" It's like, "Oh, nobody." It's like, "Okay, well, forget it." Right. Like, you're not just gonna randomly mail a tape to somebody and be like, "Here, sign us," even though that's what you did back then.
Right. I've done it.
Kind of weird that thing's changed now.
Oh yeah.
People are just like, "Okay, we're gonna go check your Facebook page or your Bandcamp page and then see if we want to sign you." But I don't know. It was kind of weird, and so we just kind of like went with that, and did a couple records for Cleopatra. But we also did this weird thing where, I morphed for a second.
It's all right. I mean, we fly in and out of like space reality all the time. Like, it's all good.
But that's bound to happen. But yeah, so we did, we did the whole Cleo thing, but we had this one-up thing that we always were prepared ahead of time. So Cleopatra wanted us to put out a record. Little do they know, we had already finished the record. We'd already had Monkey Ass done.
Okay.
And on DATs already.
DATs.
So when they wanted to release the record, we pretty much immediately sent it to them.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, "Whoa, wait a minute. We haven't even sent you any money to do it yet." Like,
that's pretty awesome.
So we managed to stay one ahead of Cleopatra every time. So it's like when it came time to do the EP, we'd use the money from that they gave us for the record to do the EP and so on and so forth.
That's wild to me. Like, for a couple, like, out of college, like, you just kind of, for me, I was just, cut loose into the world to have that sort of acumen of being like, not only are we gonna not rest on our laurels after being signed, we're gonna have an album done when they ask, like, the next day. That's pretty forward thinking for 19 or 20-year-olds or however you are.
Well, excuse me. It probably comes down to our whole punk rock aesthetic of record everything and record everything the best you can. So we still have some cassette recordings that sound amazing.
Nice.
I'm like, "Oh wow, we really don't have to do much. There's like not a whole lot of tape hiss in there. There's bass. There's like good sub. Everything sounds mixed correctly. because we were always about record everything.
That's
It's like
awesome.
when we get together, it's like, okay, record it, and especially multi-track it, because you never know if somebody does something cool, and we might like, oh, that was cool. Let's either recreate it or just sample it
Right.
from the tape again, and reuse it. But yeah, we always had this like record everything as best as you could and
That
multi-track mentality.
it's a simple thing, but it goes a long way. Like a lot of times I'll be just like hanging out with a buddy and the drum machines or whatever goes on, and then they're like, all right, let's turn it off. I'm like, no, 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 let's hit save. Want to give a shout out to Low Key Doom 666 in chat. Square Wave Productions in the house on YouTube.
The fam.
The fam.
Oh, and I see Steven Recon is in there.
As in, okay.
We'll get to you in a minute, buddy.
I gotta redo my my Facey books or something, but oh, there we go.
You.
So the smash cut to the restream chat doesn't always catch everything. So if I don't respond to you on air, it's because I hate you personally. I'm kidding. It's just because the dumb little comment doesn't show up sometimes. So smash cut to 2019, all the way forward. Noisebox comes back for our mutual friend Defley's Consolidated tribute. That
was totally that was bizarre.
What was the process of reformulating something so like nascent for you, like a 20-year-old project almost?
Well, it's never been defunct.
Okay.
As much as it's been on I guess not really a hiatus, because Josh and I actually do and have communicated quite a bit, since I moved down here.
So
there's always communication. Yeah, I'm in LA.
Okay.
And he's actually somewhere up in the Olympic Mountains, like completely off the grid.
Nice.
It's totally bizarre.
Okay.
It couldn't be any more opposite.
Right.
He's like, I got a farm and chickens and all this shit.
Right.
I'm like, oh, dude, that's crazy. He's like, you should come up here. I'm like, dude, I'm a city kid.
Right.
I need toilets and electricity and
the 5 freeway
walls. But yeah, he's up there in the woods, and I can't remember how we found out about the Consolidated tribute, but we were just like, oh hell no! If anyone's got to be on it, we've got to be on that. I was like, oh hell yeah! So we're just like, oh yeah, we already knew what song we were going to do.
Nice.
Because the song we covered, Dog and Pony Show, they actually dedicated to us at a show.
Get out.
Seattle. Because we were just getting signed to Cleopatra, therefore talking about all the bullshit that labels try to pull and all that.
Is that what that song's about?
Yeah, it's pretty much about it's like the whole music industry and being jerked around and how they got screwed over by Play It Again Sam Network. That's why those lines are in there about that.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that.
So they were kind of giving us the heads up about all that.
Awesome.
But then again, we also had an advantage. My other best friend's mom was a lawyer, so anytime contracts were sent to us, she would read them in human speak, and we'd be all like, "Nope, nope, nope." We actually had our contract rewritten 5 times.
That is amazing. I am.
So they're
blown
probably
away
like,
by your
guys
acumen.
are a problem.
I've had contracts I wish I wouldn't have signed, but man, I am. Props to your 20 years ago self. Speaking of Consolidated and shows, the story doesn't end there, because correct me if I'm getting this wrong. They send you by way of Deftly, the guy that put the compilation together, and incidentally the Boston Gothsicle, a notification saying that Consolidated is getting back together because of that comp.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing to me.
That's insane.
I figured they were like, okay, no, we got to show these kids how to do it right.
Well, that's
they were actually just shaming us all. They're like, no,
right. This shit's so bad. We got to get back. No, I mean you're being humble. But it's a great comp. Like my buddy Control Shifts on there, like from way back, and check that compilation out at voidstarproductions.bandcamp.com. Noisebox is back on it with Dog and Pony Show, and it brought so good it brought back Consolidated. So
well, everybody did, you know.
everybody did.
Which was
Everybody did.
amazing.
I
That
mean,
that comp just it trips me out how amazing it is and how relevant all those songs are. It's like they never get old.
right? Like I listened to
begging,
Brutal Equation or something, and it came out like yesterday. Like it still worked.
Yeah, you wouldn't really have to change much. And I was begging Pistol for years, you know, because I still remained in contact with him and Adam, you know, throughout all these years, kind of behind the scene.
Oh.
I've always been like, oh, come on, bring it back. Okay. We need it. Bring back Consolidated. Like, oh, yeah. Right. And Adam had that one form of Consolidated with the I don't know if you've seen that, the younger kids. No. A couple younger kids from Portland playing with them.
Okay.
And I saw that iteration a couple times.
Okay.
I was like, no, we got to have Pistol coming back, bringing the bass.
Right.
You know, or have Phil, you know, back on the drums or whatever. But, yeah, I've been bugging those guys about that for decades.
Well.
Literally. Just like, hey, we need it back.
Mission accomplished, I guess.
You know, it's like, come on. Only you guys can do this in the way that, you know,
that's
that people will listen to.
Well.
So I was like, as far as that retro part, I'm like, I'm totally for that. I'm totally for them coming back.
Very cool. Yeah, well, we'll see what that brings. And thanks to you and everyone involved for that comp. In the middle of this noise box sandwich, though, I can't forego the logo I have on the screen that I invented and totally didn't just steal from an album cover.
I know. I'm like, I was all giving you props.
Yeah.
Like, before I love it. Can I take it?
Before
I didn't make it.
No, I just took it off your album. The DATABOMB, just a battalion of compilation or collaborative work. I meant to say feature work. Is DATABOMB. So is that the most like you finger quotes of your projects, or is that inaccurate?
Well, actually, the whole DATABOMB thing was a fake band. If you actually
really?
I think it's actually in the credits of Monkey Ass.
Okay, DATABOMB.
Yeah, it's actually, and it's like it's actually 4 people. So it's Josh and I with 2 different pseudonames. And it was a fake band that we never actually made, but I think we credited that band with doing something.
That's amazing.
Which is just kind of ridiculous. And then I just kind of took that as the whole solo thing. I was like, oh, well, I don't have to make up another band name.
Okay.
And I guess I could actually write this music. But yeah, in one of those old noise box records, somebody will see like, oh, it's DATABOMB. Because I think I can only remember 2 of the members. There was Bick Diggins, which was like 2 jokes about our buddy Rich Riggins.
Okay.
And then of course Peni. And then there was Festus D. Hardnor, which was like a weird old usage of a D&D name, D&D character name.
Get out, okay?
Yeah, and then there was 2 more that I can't remember that were probably equally as silly.
Okay.
You know, we were never really an industrial band. We were always a parody band.
That's okay. I kind of got that vibe, and I'm glad to hear you say it because I had those like neurons firing in the back of my brain, but I wasn't quite sure how to consolidate that, if you will. Like, Noisebox / DATABOMB, because it sounds like a little bit of a lateral move, was always like they had a punk rock irreverence to it, but like where did the parody aspects come in?
I mean, I could get really specific, like band specific.
Oh, really?
And song specific, as an example. If you take The Night the Aliens Came, that is our hardcore Frontline Assembly parody.
Okay, really?
Yeah, down to that little sound that they do in all their songs.
Yeah.
We were totally parodying.
Okay, awesome. I absolutely love that.
Even though there's like Cannibal Corpse samples in there that kind of probably throw it off, but
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Frontline sampled Pantera. You're on point.
And then 9 Zombies is is a Nine Inch Nails parody song.
Okay. Oh
we
my
even
God.
did a thing where we put extreme treble and high end on the guitar samples to get that annoying Nine Inch Nails guitar sound. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
But we never took any of that stuff seriously. Probably until the second record.
Okay.
We're like, oh, let's actually write more serious songs, but they're still like, still goofing.
Okay.
We never wanted to be an industrial band.
Well, what's the if we go to AOI, the DATABOMB album, the most recent one, I think, of Crunchpod, it's pretty chillax. It's great. But what's sort of the theme or gestalt, as we like to say on this show, of AOI out now in Crunchpod?
Pretty much, I'm kind of like the opposite guy. Like what all my homies are doing. I like to be on the opposite spectrum. Because like a lot of my homies, you know, they're noise artists, which is awesome, you know. And I'm like, I don't want to pollute the airwaves, you know. With that. And then sometimes, you know, I like deep space, you know, and I just like to be able to admire my homies' art without like, you know, doing that whole, you know, imitation is, you know, the greatest form of flattery thing, you know. So I've just always been like that. I've always been like, if there's something going on, I always like to be the opposite of that. And a lot of that sprouted when when Venetian Snares and, you know, Otto were all touring about all the time, and it was all like breakcore and fast beats and chopping up amens and all that. And I was like, you know, that's cool and all, but, you know, what if you don't want to have a heart attack at like 3 a.m? You know, like want to chill out, you know, so you make some chill music. And then the whole thing with AOI was it's kind of a concept thing. That's the only time I'll like actually focus on a release. And that's like the Age of Loneliness documentary I was watching. It was like a BBC documentary, and that's where I got a lot of the dialogue from. Okay. So I was like, I want to make a record that focuses on loneliness. And I almost made it beatless too. Really? I almost put no percussion on it. The original part is just like all ambient, like chill out, drifty music.
Well, definitely check that out on Crunchpod. Let's do the Dre supercut here. You won't be able to hear this because, of course, my meticulous sound setup took a little bit of a shitteroo.
But I can make squeaky sounds.
You can make all the squeaky sounds you
want. Irritate people.
Well,
irritate and annoy.
You're gonna see some names come up here. Here is just this tiny sampling of some of the stuff in which you've been involved. This is the beat of my heart. Now reverse it.
Somebody made a video for Edward Ka-Spel.
Fears in line. The more acquired is disease, the soul's fate.
faceless warrior.
Lasted as we
has to be room temperature. We need to wear our masks. No more than 15 droplets, or there will be a blast. Ripping through the complex, flying fingers, flying glass. At last, the virus will escape the test tube.
Oh yeah, I muted myself, but that's okay because I just burped into the microphone anyway. So up. Oh wait, I effed up. Okay, now you're back. I could hear you. Uh, now you're back. Now you're back. Now you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I was muted throughout that, then that is probably good.
Yeah, no, I can hear you, and we'll never reveal those secrets to the audience. But yeah.
Don't tell anyone what I was singing. You've got blackmail material now.
Yeah. Well, what we did here was DATABOMB's Dorian, featuring Edward Ka-Spel, legendary.
That mix is that's Brant's mix.
Yes, former guest of the show, Brant of Damon or Avon or however that triangle is pronounced. Mix that with the literally legendary Edward Ka-Spel. Noisebox's monkey ass, featuring all of Seattle's finest construction sites.
AKA the video we didn't want to make.
You didn't want to make it?
Yet paid half of it. Okay, so imagine this. Okay, here comes some dirt.
Okay.
Exclusive. So Cleopatra had this brilliant idea to make a video for Monkey Ass.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of things that are just kind of wacky with that.
Okay.
That song has no drum programming in it at all. We were
Right.
literally listening to 2 sampled loops that Josh did and
Okay.
vocals. So we were just like, that one? Really?
All right.
The song that is like the least of anything?
Right.
Like it's just 2 elements? Okay.
Always works that
Hey,
way.
sure. We were kind of like, oh yeah, okay, so we're gonna fly these guys up to make this video, and we're like, I don't really want to make a video because being shy and I didn't want to be on camera and do any of that. And then so they take us to these sites to shoot this video. I did not want to wear those Elvis glasses at all. We were both extremely angry that day because the other 2 guys you see in the shot, which were part of our live band, which happened to be Corey from Satchel, R.I.P., and his cousin Kerry, or Corey as well, Curry Kane, who used to be the drummer for Pretty Boy Floyd.
Wow.
So it's just all completely bizarro land.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we had those 2 knuckleheads in the band for a while, live band, along with Corey's cousin John, also from Satchel. So it was like this really weird time where we were just like abducting random Northwest musicians to be our live band. I was like, we need a live band. Let's grab people at random from random band. And so Corey and his cousin there, we were extremely mad at because they were pulling the whole Rockstar thing. We're like, dude, we got to go shoot the thing. And they're all like still in bed and whatnot. And
right.
So yeah, we were very mad at them that day.
Okay.
So all you have is like shots of me getting increasingly madder and madder about things I didn't want to do. The highlight of things I didn't want to do happened to be in that cut where I'm in the water.
Okay.
I'm like in this like recycled water thing.
Oh my God. Okay.
By Freeway Park.
That's literally industrial.
And I was I think it took them a good hour and a half to talk me into doing it. And I was so mad. I was so mad. Josh said I was foaming at the mouth. I was so mad. And he had never seen me that angry in his entire life.
That's the best. Like, I mean, I'm sure it sucked at the time, but like,
we were just pissed. And then the capper, to find out later after shooting all that, it's like, oh yeah, that money we were going to send you is paying for your half of the video.
Oh!
So that was the double whammy.
Get out! Not only do you have to get in raw sewage, but you'll work your way up to 0.
Yeah. So like there's like so many things in there. There's like a part where I'm holding this lead pipe and we're all like kind of going spastic in this little corridor. You can actually see me elbow Corey.
Yeah.
Right
Oh, really?
And him go. Ooh.
I'll have to, because I know the scene. I was focused on you. I'll have to watch for your flying elbows.
Look back at that. I totally just get him. Just. Gah.
Well.
So there was some good moments in that, but yeah, in general, that was like the video we never wanted to make.
It's great. I love it. It all 2 minutes and 30 seconds of it is pretty amazing.
We laugh at it now, but there was a while where we were just like, oh. And then people are like, oh, I saw that video, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh God. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. There's a couple I want back. I know the feeling. The
Did you make them against your will? Was the director off screen with the gun?
It was a little. I mean, I was never under the purview of like a big time label, but it was just that idea of like, I spent all fucking day doing XYZ. Do I just throw it away or put it out into the? David Christensen wants to know who was the dancing girl in the Monkey Ass video.
That was probably somebody at Cleopatra's girlfriend.
Oh, okay, just cut in.
Yeah, we had a couple incidences like that, like where somebody wanted to use their girlfriend on our cover for one of our records.
Okay.
And I said no very unnicely
Right.
about that. We're all like, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna edit my girlfriend into your music video anyway.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Yeah,
Whatever.
that wasn't the girl that they wanted to use on the record cover. So we're like, oh no. And plus, we didn't want to come off, like that anyways. It's like, oh,
right.
we're not trying to do this whole, oh yeah, let's use sex to sell this record.
Right.
It's like, oh, if anything, yeah, let's just offend people in the way that we do with the sounds.
That's amazing. Well, carrying on the quiet, complete badass vibe, we're about to drop even some bigger names because following Monkey Ass was your Skinny Puppy writing credit. Dope. On Greater Wrong of the Right. After that, we get into the Tear Garden, Sinister Silence, Broken Fabiola's Only Our Fate, Dubcon's First Contact, and of course we end with the Mighty Downloads, 23 Years. And that's just a sampling. There's so much stuff out. We'll get into it as much as we can here on Couch.
There's even Recon. Yeah.
Recon just came out a couple of days ago.
There's a whole bunch of superstars on that.
Check that out. Steven is in the audience today, so check out the new
Steven?
Recon, featuring a collab with DATABOMB. I do want to ask, if I can, about the 23 Years video in which you ended with the late Phil Western, dedicated to the late Dwayne. There's a lot going on there. I was just wondering if you could speak to your experiences with Phil, or even if you know what's going on in that video.
That video I know is from like an old Vancouver session.
Okay.
Like an old download session.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Ryan Moore is in there as well.
Is that the other guy in the video that we see?
I'm not sure if that's Ryan or Dwayne. It's funny because I never actually got to meet Dwayne throughout the whole puppy things, but I have this other weird concept about that. We can get into.
Because it kind of looks like Dwayne, but I wasn't sure because I go by the
haircut.
haircut.
Might be Dwayne.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. Of just
like Kevin would know better. I'm sure on his Patreon or his Vimeo.
Okay.
He's got all the info about that.
That's Kevin Key.
But Phil would come down from Vancouver, a couple times to work on the sessions, and I just watch him morph Kevin and I's ideas into these just insane pieces of work.
Mm-hmm. Like
the first one, he did is Fire Path. I think it's like the Fire Sloth versus Download Fire Path. He took a original recording, was highly experimental, that Kevin and I did when the hills were all burning. We were all getting all paranoid, so we just made this really whacked out, long ass experimental thing, and then he turned it into this 4 on the floor, just driving insanity.
Nice.
So I generally when Phil comes down to do stuff, I'm just I just watch. I just observe what he does,
Yeah.
Watch his techniques. I'm all kind of the silent observer, ooh. Okay. He's looped this part, now he's done this to it.
Yeah, it's always a pretty great feeling to hear a remix or something for the first time. But yeah, that he will be missed. That's pretty intense. But
he's got a crazy way of just enhancing things where it's just all I was wow, I would have never thought about that.
Yeah.
And a master of the SH-101.
Really?
Just get anything out of that.
Of all things, that's some pretty antiquated technology for you at home. We're talking not only about the late Phil Western, but the Kevin you're talking about is Kevin Key from Skinny Puppy. How did you get into working with the megalithic Kevin Key, and what's it like to have a Skinny Puppy writing credit?
How did we meet? Well, we actually met on the Download tour back in '96.
Okay.
It's my friend. I'm sure he doesn't want me to say his name,
All right.
my friend Andrew.
Okay.
You're outed now, buddy. He
Come for you, Andrew.
He used to get synths for all these guys up in Vancouver.
Okay.
Like the guys from Frontline Assembly and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And one day they were on that tour, and the Ice Stanley Payne tour. And my buddy's like, "Hey, do you know these guys are looking for some weed? Can you get them some weed?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem. I can get them some really good weed. No problem."
All right.
So basically, I met them through hooking up Kevin with some weed.
That's the best. So,
and then proceeded to get like completely obliterated before the show with those guys. And like, I remember just holding on to the side railing and just kind of just swaying and trying not to fall over while watching Download from the side of the stage. It was just, that show was amazing.
So
if you fast forward, okay, well, I'm sorry.
Oh, you weren't playing in Download at the time?
No.
Okay.
No, so I was just I was just kind of like marveled by it because there's like that was when they were at their peak and it was like everybody was there and everybody had this massive machine. So I was like, doing the whole gear thing, going, oh my god, this is crazy.
Right.
And then so we met then, but we didn't really connect until this Legendary Pink Dots tour. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that Kevin was there. I was like, oh shit, Kevin's here. What the hell's going on? It's like, hey, remember me? Got you some really good weed, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, yeah, sure. He's like, oh, you want to have a smoke? And it's like, sure. So I got to have like this one-on-one with Kevin, just hanging out, talking about Dwayne and gear and whatnot and music and whatnot. And he's like, oh, yeah, you should come down to the house and jam one day. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. And then fast forward to I'm trying to remember what year that Ogre's first tour was.
Like for
when he drummed for him.
Oh, 2000 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like, God, that was like so long ago. But we met up again, and then he's like, oh yeah, you should come down to the house after the end of the tour and work on music. And we said, okay, sure, no problem. Mm-hmm. And then my girlfriend at the time had won airplane tickets to go wherever we wanted.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, we can go actually two different places? Okay, cool. So we flew out to New York to see Ogre in New York and hung out with him there. And then afterwards, we flew back to California for the last show of the tour and then stayed at Kevin's house for a few days. And I had brought gear and we wrote 3 songs back then. Uh-huh. 2 of which actually became actual songs later.
Nice.
This was kind of crazy. We have like Man Made, that kind of jungly song that's on the Download 3 Steps Forward.
So these are Download tracks. Okay.
Yeah. And then one later ended up being Brother's Keeper by Tear Garden.
Awesome.
Which is basically an unedited recording of us jamming.
Really?
And then Edward did a few things on top of it. Yeah, it's pretty much as we had done that long ago.
That's pretty amazing.
So and then there was another one, but I'm trying to remember where the third one ended up. But yeah, it's really weird.
Very cool. And then, like, some of your stuff gets then on that track on Greater Wrong at the Right, on Skinny Puppy. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, that was weird because that was after I had moved into Kevin's house.
Really?
After all, he was like bugging me for years and years, like, oh, you should move down to LA and we work on music. I got a room in the house. Blah blah blah.
Wow.
And so I was lucky enough to be working at Guitar Center, and I could just transfer my job. So that was kind of a no-brainer. It's like, oh, Industrial Legend wants you to come work on music. You can transfer your job, and you have a place to live.
That's amazing.
Kind of a no-brainer. So me and my buddy Daniel Miller, not of Mute Records.
Okay.
That would be weird. We packed up this huge U-Haul and then just drove all my stuff down to Kevin's. And he was like a big Puppy fan too, so he was like all this, oh my god, this is awesome. And Daniel does music under Infidel Tech. Okay. He's a modular musician. But yeah, he's kind of to blame as well.
Very cool.
Helping me come down here.
We also heard in the clip some DubCon. What was it like when Kevin asked you to work on a reggae album? Or if that's even how that would happen?
Basically, there's kind of like this rule, like if you live in that house, you're on a project.
Okay.
Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I'd be
It's
like, oh, hey, can you add this or that? Or like, I might come in there and be like, oh, hey, can I add?
okay.
Let me add this and that to that. That's kind of what happened with some of the puppy stuff.
Mm.
It's like I was like, ooh, let me come in here and add this like weird other layer of deep synth, and then the spooky bells was like from the virus.
Okay.
I remember he was playing the thing, and I was like, ooh, and I just like, ooh, like, oh, okay, that's on the record.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. Like, if you live in that house, you're
It's just an
gonna do
industrial
something
commune.
and be on the record.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I had no idea it was such a factory, pardon the industrial pun, of like of sound.
And then with Ryan Moore, it's like, they had that project going, and I was just there, and I was like, oh, I actually added a different type of element. It's like most of my work with DubCon, I do like the bongos and that kind of stuff, like the more organic hand percussion stuff. That's me playing stuff like on the machina, and then I'll do glitch effects to it to like get it all kind of weird.
Okay.
But in general, I do more organic stuff
Very
for
cool.
DubCon. Just like if I had
That's so
bongos
awesome.
and
It's
congas.
great.
Like,
Everybody check out DubCon on Metropolis Records. The I want to one more band thing because I had initially met you as part of Scilab. How did the Scilab part come about of your multifaceted industrial super career?
yeah, that's a good question. I think Sev could probably answer that better than I can, just because so many things. Because we were both in industrial bands at the time. She was in Folkwolf
Right.
as well, up there in Seattle, and somehow I think we probably all shared the stage together at some point, but we'd never collaborated. I think this was pre-collaboration mentality, when everybody had to be in a freaking side project with somebody else and somebody else from that band. I think this is way before that, so we weren't really in that mentality. But yeah, I'm not sure how that all came about. And I was all like, "Ooh, I'll hit things for you guys because that'll be fun." So I remember I didn't want to have to sing anymore.
Oh, you were just done with it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, if I get the mic, it's just going to offend more people.
Right.
And as fun as that is, I was like, yeah, probably shouldn't.
I am not waiting in another drainage pipe for a music video. I'll just hit things.
Yeah. I'll be known as the guy who hits things, not yells things.
I wanna jump to this real quick. It'll be a little bit of a smash cut, but if we were to design the Dre video game, like, would you have to like put together noise boxes like Tetris 3D, or like plant a data bomb? Like, what would your the essence of your video game be like?
Well, then we'd actually have to go back to the actual kind of me video game I made back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I think we talked about this in your your homie, using adventure construction sets.
Yes.
I made pretty much like a game that was like a simulation of like if you were Josh and I and what we did throughout the day. So I had my house completely mapped out. I had Josh's house mapped out. I had this dance club Scoochies that we never went into, but we always mingled outside, and then the McDonald's that was just down the block as part of it. I had random character events, so I probably would make some kind of adventure game.
Very cool.
It'd probably be some kind of weird Skyrim-y type game. Or actually probably now more like the new Cyberpunk game that's coming out. Probably something like that.
Awesome. Like, yeah, open world, just run around and,
Open world, but maybe not too big. Maybe kind of like a Yakuza type style.
Yeah, there you go.
We have like a really isolated areas, so you can get the details in very finely. And then, of course, you have your moments of violence. That would be satisfying for all the button mashers.
There you go. The so from like the mid '90s all the way till now, I was wondering if you could speak to sort of some of the changes you might have seen in industrial electronic, whatever, like be it in like nerdy technical gear stuff, or like just of any shifts in vibe that you might have noticed.
Um, I don't know. Being kind of isolated as Josh and I were, because like that's how we always created. We created like this really tight bubble that didn't have any kind of outside influences or. Well, our friends we would see probably when we did shows mainly, but I don't know. It's kind of like that whole isolation thing. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Interesting. It allows you to certainly do a lot. I mean, your motor is just unreal. How does your solo writing process for like DATABOMB or whatever compare to something you might do collaboratively with like an Edward Ka-Spel or Kevin Key or any of those guys or Josh?
Um, Collaboratively, it's usually a much quicker process because believe it or not, Kevin and I will write 2 solid ideas per session.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is lightning fast for anybody out there.
And that encompasses everything. It's like throughout my time of like hanging out with him, I become quite adept at sound design on the fly. Mainly because my station's kind of behind him.
Okay.
So if I see him like moving the head, or rocking out to whoever I'm contributing, it's like we're on the right path.
There you go.
Like, okay, put that sound in there, But a lot of that is like with I find with like drum sounds and whatnot, doing that kind of on the fly.
Okay.
But being able to do that really quickly, and Josh and I did the same thing too, even with our archaic gear back in the day. It's like we just kind of knew what sounds fit and what kind of rhythms fit with everything. So after you work with somebody for a while, you kind of know what they like. It's kind of like this weird intimate thing with sounds and samples and whatnot.
That gives me an idea for like a mini game in your video game where it's like the harder you can get Kevin Key's head to bop, like the more points you get.
You're like one of those karaoke ones.
There you go. Yes.
Psycho Master.
You got it. We got there.
You have to be like, you have to hit something in rhythmic time.
Yes. Yeah.
And then maybe there'll be another one. You have to go like you have like a synth thing and 3 knobs. You got to make the frequency match.
Yes. Getting there. And
we could do that.
All right. Very cool. If DATABOMB was a superhero, what would your superpower be? And would you have a data cave?
Actually, I did have an Avengers identification card that I found recently.
Yes. Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, it still relates. It was, I think my superhero name was Sin Nickel. And I had the powers of sarcasm.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I love it.
It was just so great. It was the greatest thing ever. So they would either stun, or they would just explode the person's neurons.
Just mental faculties.
The central nervous center just couldn't take it.
Just couldn't handle the biting wit or just crippling sarcasm. What
Last word, I can't believe you said that.
Oh, did you mean it or didn't you mean it?
I'm feeling insecure. Psychological Damage for the rest of my life.
Right. Roll for sanity. We touched on briefly that the Recon Super album just came out as we're talking. What might be next for the mighty Dre Robinson?
Well, if we can go to the Recon thing, this is sure. Hilarious.
Okay.
I know Steven had sent me a message about it, and I was like super tired. I think I was like getting ready to go to bed or something. I was like, my day was like, the meters were shut off.
Right.
Everything was like shutting down. And he was like, oh, hey. Oh, yeah, we got Mark to do vocals on it. And I'm like sleepy and like not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I'm not sure if later he said it was Mark from Dead Voices on Air. And then I was like, oh, wait, shit, wait, what?
Yeah.
But the first my first reaction to all that was kind of dismissive, just due to sleep deprivation. I was kind of like, oh yeah, Mark, yeah. Whatever.
Right. I know
And
a
then I'm all
guy
like,
named Mark.
I'm like, oh wait, Mark Vivi, what? No, that's crazy. Considering with my download hookup, it's like it's weird that we haven't worked together, in all the years that we've known each other. So I'm like, oh God, I was like, I'm honored.
Well,
very much honored to do that.
Very cool. Well, so Dead Voices on Air does vocals on the track on which you collaborated.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. That's pretty great.
Yeah,
also,
I was just like, oh, holy shit.
That's awesome. just like, well, I mean, you work as hard as you do, good things happen. Speaking of not stopping, excuse me if I butcher the pronunciation. Is it Shiza or Shiza, DJ?
Shiza.
Shiza, I had it right there. Oh, I got it now. Okay.
Which is actually two jokes, because initially it was Shy Pizza.
Yeah.
Shiza.
Sure.
And then it's like, oh, wait, but then there's also the German word. So it's like,
that's funny.
Which also gives me an excuse. It's like already built in.
There you go.
If I play something you don't like, it's like, well, Shiza.
Oh,
you knew what I was playing. I can play whatever I want.
Yeah, I mean, don't like it, just sit down and have some pizza quietly by yourself in the corner. Yeah. And
just let your ear holes be assaulted.
by this Shiza. You're pretty dedicated to that. Like, you have some mixes coming out. How are you finding the DJ experience?
Well, that's something I've always done in my spare time, which actually kind of started once again at Kevin's house, but that was with actual CDs. I actually did my first mashup with CDs at his house.
That's amazing.
I mashed up. You probably heard it if you ever saw Skinny Puppy live.
Yeah.
After the 2000s, a lot of the music in between the bands and before the shows are my mixes.
Really?
And so, yeah. So it's like, yep, everyone's subjected to what I want you to hear before Skinny Puppy.
That's crazy.
But the first one I did was a mashup of Involution and Download that I just kind of happened upon. I was like, ooh, I'm playing these two CDs at the same time. Let me slow this one down so it all matches. And then, so that kind of started the whole crazy mashup thing.
Good stuff.
And then there's a ton of mixes on Mixcloud. I think some of the Puppy opening mixes are on there too.
Oh, very cool.
But they also serve their purpose to get the band hyped up, because everyone loves Ricky's Hand. I remember Ogre saying to me a couple times, like, "Oh my God, I love hearing Ricky's Hand just before I come on." It's like I get all pumped up, I'm back there all
Ricky's
dancing. Fad Gadget.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Very cool.
That used to be the you're about to go on stage.
That's so we learned that Ogre's pump up track is Fad Gadget. I would not have put that together. That's awesome. Let's be. Before I forget, I got so excited with all this industrial talk. We can be semi-professional. Toss out some URLs. We can get. Is it mixcloud.com/Shiza?
Oh no, I think it's DataBomb.
DataBomb on Mixcloud. Yeah. You want to look for DataBomb at crunchpod.bandcamp.com.
And I believe it's the same on Twitch as well.
Okay.
Because anytime I logged in as DJ Shiza and made comments, nobody knew who I was.
Right.
So then I had to change it, and they're like, "Oh, hey, it's
yeah." I did the same thing with Space
Couch. As Shiza
on
one of yours, and I had commented, and then I went back to the Facebook, and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, get in a fight with yourself. Oh, hey, Endos here. Yeah, the
Jason.
It's DataBomb on Twitch, Mixcloud. Check for DataBomb.
Jason, also a member of the Skinny Puppy stage crew.
All right.
I abduct him whenever we're in Minneapolis.
Very cool. Yeah, no, he was on recently. It was a great guest. But
Jason, I hate that stage. That stage is a fucking nightmare.
At first stage or what?
It's something that has to be 90 feet in the air. And it's absolutely frightening, because I'm at the edge. I'm at the left side edge of it.
Okay.
Where death is just imminent.
So
one long footstep.
Is this like roadie work for Puppy or what?
Yeah, when I'm doing the stage tech.
Okay. Oh, stage tech. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I'm usually behind that huge thing full of
Really?
stuff that
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
standing behind or in front of.
Mill City, says Jason.
Mill City, yeah.
It
Oh, it's
is
gone now. Okay,
it's gone
good.
now.
I don't have to worry about falling to my death.
It was hell. It's all the we can get Dubcon Tiergarten, of course, Skinny Puppy at metropolis-records.bandcamp.com, and Recon is on CrunchPod. The Noisebox, Void Star for that consolidated thing, wherever you can find Noisebox. What is up to Hired Sword 2 creator Furroy? Any other URLs or anything you want to toss out, sir?
I don't know, but going back to Edward, it's funny. Edward is probably my first and oldest industrial fan out of all of this.
This is
so it's kind of funny that
Edward of the legendary Pink Dots.
Yeah, I met him at a Pink Dots show. Oh God, a long time ago.
Okay.
So it's like him and actually I met him and I think Genesis Peorage and his wife Paula.
Yeah.
Peorage, I thought it was 91, but it turned out to be 89.
Get out.
And I'm like, oh, holy shit. I'm like, wow, old. But yeah, it's like those were like some of my oldest industrial buddies.
Wow.
I didn't think like, oh my God, I'm gonna work on music with you guys in the future or anything. Like the whole Kevin thing. It's all like, it's like a weird fluke. Because there were so many times where I could have met him.
Right.
I actually could have met him at a Consolidated show that
he
went to in Vancouver. I remember freaking out because him and his girlfriend at the time were like literally walked up right next to us and set their beers down, and we were all freaking out.
That's
like,
amazing.
Oh my God, there's Kevin Key right next to us.
Did Tiergarten start with Kevin or Edward then for you?
Tiergarten started with by me living in the living in the house, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work on another record for Tiergarten.
Okay.
But then again, it also goes back to our aesthetic of writing.
Okay.
Because from the entire time that I lived there, even till when I moved out and would visit, we've amassed a whole shitload of songs.
Yeah, you have.
And we would go like, okay, Skinny Puppy song, download song, Tiergarten song, so they would either go or miscellaneous. So
right.
We would shuffle through all that stuff, and yeah, at some point there ended up being over 26 songs for Tiergarten, over 20 plus for Puppy, and then maybe 16 or 17 songs for Download, and then just like a whole shitload of miscellaneous songs. And then they just go out to their respected people at times,
That's just
like, hey, give this to Edward. And the funny thing is, like, we'll both embarrassingly like sing like Edward over a song. Be like, okay. I was like, okay, that's got to go to Edward.
Oh, that's funny. Like as a placeholder, or just to like demarcate this as a Tiergarten track?
Oh no, just goofing in the studio.
Okay.
You're like listening back and you're like singing along.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You might be like Marmalade. What's going on? That's the Tiergarten song.
Dre, we gotta punch out. We could do another 18 hours. Please come back to the couch whenever you have something.
Oh, which is crazy because I'm about to go on Kevin's Subcon Patreon chat.
What?
At 2. Yeah.
Okay, so let's plug that real quick. Check out Kevin Key's. Is it like Subcon Radio or something like that? Patreon chat.
Yeah.
Find it. So. Feel free to plug Space Couch to Kevin Key. And do you have any final thoughts for us out here in space?
Yes. The new solo record, I guess not so solo, because Kevin's been saying our record.
Okay.
Is going to be kind of amazing because we have Chris from IMX has graced his vocals on a couple songs, and actually has re-envisioned another song. So there's 2 songs with Chris Corner coming up, and then of course Edward's going to be on the song as well. Got the guy from David from Rabbit in the Moon is working on stuff.
What?
There's quite the collective that's been happening kind of behind the scenes. And I don't know if you saw my post where I was like, I'm listening to something. I can't say what it is, but I'm in heaven. Yeah. That was like a rough draft of Chris's vocals over a track we did. I'm telling you, that record's gonna blow people away.
Is there a name?
And Greg Reilly's mixing it.
What's that? I was gonna ask if there's a name we could. What's that?
Greg Reilly's mixing it. Legendary producer Greg Reilly is mixing it.
Okay.
And he's just making it amazing.
And where
There's
should
a
we
couple
look
more
for that?
guest stars on there. It's gonna be just like that's gonna be really good. When it's coming out?
Where should we go for it? Like, is there a name?
I don't know.
Or is that not ready yet?
I'm not sure if Metropolis is putting it out, but that would be my best bet would be Metropolis or what's the other label that does all the other stuff? Artifact, maybe?
Okay. Something, it'll be out on a fancy label.
Tiger Squawk.
Tiger Squawk. And what is the name of this project, or can we not say yet?
God, I don't think we had a name for it.
All right. That's exciting.
It might just be Kevin Key and friends.
Kevin Key and friends with giant, stylized ampersand.
And then I also one more plug.
Yeah.
Gotta plug the superstar DJ girlfriend.
Okay.
Low-Key Doom 666. Everyone should go check her out on Twitch.
666 on Twitch.
And Mixcloud, she does insane mashups of stuff. I keep threatening to tell on her about her choke mashups.
That's
tune into that.
LOW.
I'm often in there like interfering. DJing.
I'm sorry, I talked over you. You mess with her mixes or what?
Yeah, we have this set up where I can interfere.
That's amazing. That's Low-Key Doom, LOWKEY DOOM 666 on Twitch. Dude, this has been an episode of The Couch. I gotta punch out because I gotta refuel for oxygen here in the void. But this is Brian for Space Couch, for Dre, for DataBomb, Noisebox, Skinny Puppy, Tear Garden, Broken Fabiola Recon. Download everything. Check him out in just a little bit at patreon.com/Kevin Key. Space Couch out.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be collaborating with pretty much everybody at some time. We still have to do something. Surprise, we haven't. And shout outs to all my collaborators out there that I can kind of see in the chat. And future collaborators, hit me up. We got the code. We ain't doing nothing. Send them loops.